Don't blink, it's your link. Welcome to our show. Continuing on with having a wonderful day on this, drumroll please, 12 June 2025. We are in a good mood. This is my third video of the day, so we did a TikTok live, we did an intro, and this is basically my third video. Today, I don't feel, well, that's not true. I feel very inspired, or this is all gonna wait because right now my brain is very chaotic. My brain is going left and right and left and right and left and right, and this is ADHD. So instead, what I'm gonna do is for the next hour 20, because that's how much time I have left before the TikTok battles. I am gonna be talking about Kenny versus Benny. So we're gonna be doing their season 3 review finally, and possibly we're gonna be doing the season 4. So if you don't mind, let's start right away. Cause dude, I'm excited. To be honest, it's torture right now. It is torture because, oh my god, and I'm not complaining. Yes, I'm complaining. Fuck you, I'm complaining. Right now it's really complex. It's really, I wouldn't say bad per se, but it sucks. It sucks a lot because, well, if I'm being completely honest, I'm talking about Kenny versus Penny, and I haven't watched the show in so long that talking about it makes me want to watch. Now, if you guys remember, what I said was I would be doing a review now without having watched the show, and I'll do a review in a week having watched the show. So whatever happens, you'll get 3 playthrough. Well, not 3 playthrough, but you'll get 3. Oh fuck, I forgot to answer. On se voit ce week-end. Good. Okay, perfect. Yeah. See? This is what happened when you got your head in the cloud. There you go. Ah, shit, ink. Made a mistake. It's like this. There you go. I want to film the sunset without filming the wall. It's not really nice, but still. So I want to watch the show, but I cannot watch the show until I finish reviewing the show. It sounds complex, but it isn't. So season 3, episode 7 was cooler. Honestly, one of my favorite episodes. And forgive me for repeating, but the title, I wasn't super down with watching this. I wasn't super down. I was like, okay, well, this is gonna be kind of boring. You see, I got chaotic energy. I need to move. ADHD taking over. Okay. Much better. And the reason as to why is the competition. So I took my time watching this one. I of course watched the competition with crazier title. So when this one came, I was like, you know what? No, thank you. This is kind of, this is kind of boring if I'm being honest. But I started watching it. Right now we're playing the tower. I got a couple of things to do. Yeah, the whole day is gonna be freaking busy. Cause yesterday we didn't do a lot. I got to the black. I'm in danger. Shit. Okay. I could actually change my to Mushroom Kingdom. Somebody else is using cheap. Fuck it. I wasn't interested in watching it, but I did, and to me it was phenomenal. Why? Because it's always what Kenny's gonna come up with, and I think in the show it's a great thing, but it's a bad thing. So you know Kenny was gonna do something crazy, and you know Spenny how he's working. So we're gonna go with Spenny and how it goes. And I gotta say, I got a lot of love for Spenny in this episode. See, maturing is possibly realizing that Spenny isn't all bad. Ugh. What did I say? Please, somebody, what you call it when you throw soda at someone? Stone me, I guess. Because he's going in, he's changing the way he's moving, He's changing the way he's dressing. He starts smoking Indonesian cigars. It's like, okay, well, guess what? That's what he used. And he puts in the effort. He looks like shit, but he puts in the effort. He rents a car. He talks about girl and talk about threesome, which is weird. To him, threesomes are cool, which are cool, but if you need to have a threesome to be cool, then you're not cool. And this episode actually, as you mature, is one of the best episodes of the series. And then you got Spenny. You got Kenny. Kenny starts by partying and not giving a fuck, and then it's so smart because Penny think that he's doing this to look cool, right? When in reality, what he's doing is he's preparing for the competition. So he's preparing into thinking that he's doing drugs and he's drinking and he's partying, and he has those people in the house that look like a freaking rock star and drug user. And it's so, to me, it is so insane because it is so brilliant. And we just did yesterday. We did the 10 miles race. What it did here, and I think that the team behind them has a lot to do with the success of the show. Here's why. When it comes to Kenny vs. Penny, when it comes to 10 miles race, right? What they did was they showed you they showed you the whole competition. They put in moments of Kenny lying straight to Penny's face, right? And then they were like, well, this is all bullshit. This is all bullshit. Oh, I forgot to answer. Pas de stress, c'est vous qui voyez. Yeah, my father called texted me. Oh, it's 5. Good. Holy shit, my battery's already low, dude. Okay, we have the charger. Worst comes to worst. I'm having a problem with the batteries. And in this one, they're showcasing right away. So for example, when Kenny's he's pretending to be snorting cocaine, but it's fucking sugar, they show that it's sugar, right? When he's pretending like he's drinking wine, he said it's iced tea. And in this episode, I think it was legally though, Kenny actually does a PSA on drugs. And it's so fucking funny. It's so fucking funny because he talks about Brennan and his recent crack addiction. There's a homeless person. There's a homeless person possibly dealing with addiction, sadly. And Kenny is like, yo, can you tell the people that drugs are bad? And it's like, don't do crack. Cracks is whack. And he says to Kenny, I watch the show all the time. And he says, my favorite is Spenny. So Kenny is destroyed. This is somehow the worst news since the I don't know, but it's horrible for Kenny. So Kenny comes in and he just continues doing the competition and he continues doing drugs, and then he calls Penny and he said, man, I'm fucked up, right? And then so Penny's like, you're fucked up, what happened? So then he goes in. Kenny's in the bath with a prostitute. He makes homemade vomi. She's an actress, she's not a prostitute, but she's pretend a prostitute. And then he pretend like he's addicted to drugs, and he did the shitty bang bang. And what he has is he had Sebi and a team pretend like they were shooting a scene where he was shooting up heroin in his arm when it wasn't. It's a props. So Sebi shows him the thing, and you see Spenny, and he's really worried. And it's nice because, and this is twice that Kenny and this season, Spenny cared about Kenny. Spenny cared about Kenny when his mom died, but also Kenny cared about Spenny. Spenny cared about Kenny when he thought he was doing drugs. Then Spenny gave up the competition. They go on a cleanse for this, and Kenny does a really good job at being an addict. He plays the role perfectly. I wonder why. So then there's even great scene. For example, Kenny's like, oh man, Kenny, he's like, oh, what did he say? I have water in my ear. He said something about. Give me a sec. La 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 la, la 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 la. Yeah, I have water in my ear, so it's kind of blocked. Kenny, I'm so sorry. Today's a bad day for ADHD. It's very chaotic. Kenny's like, I'll mute my stupid fucking plan. The whole turkey thing. Then he attacks Spenny to get his drugs. He's very aggressive. So Spenny, what he did was he Wikipedia'd or Googled some of the symptoms. Kenny did the same thing because he knew that Spenny was going to do that. So by searching the symptom before him, he would have the exact list of symptom, and all he had to do was recreate the whole exact list. Like, oh my god, he's an addict, right? So then he creates he ties Kenny down, and then the judge comes in. Gavin, Gavin is a special character. He's a very special character. Has very righteous ID. He's on the right. He made a career out of having. Opposing thoughts. Very, very extreme. I'm not gonna say extremist because people think it's gonna be violent, but very, very extreme thoughts. And it goes in. It's like the competition doesn't happen. And then Kenny talks to him about how he did, what was the plan. He pretended like he was high, and then Gavin's like, "What the fuck? What the fuck? It's not cool," because he lost his cool. He says, "No, I'm about to show you who's cooler because of the next scene." And the next scene, Spenny goes in and he's pissed off, and Gavin makes fun of him. So the ending is kind of shitty, but the simple fact that Kenny was able to convince Spenny that he was using drugs is beautiful. So who's cooler is actually really cool, and see, it, it's odd because you don't think that it's you don't think it's that good when I'm explaining to it, but it's really like you have to watch and see, which I cannot do. Season 3, episode 8. Who can produce more semen? Now this is a weird one, but it's actually a really cool one. So who can produce more semen? Why does it make sense as a competition? Is again, sperm count is a sign of masculinity. You're a man if you can impregnate women. If you have a high sperm count and everything that you false pregnant, it's a good sign, right? It's a sign of your virility and your masculinity. So they comes in, and Kenny talks about how Spenny's addicted to porn, and he's masturbating a lot, and he's coming a lot. So he's in trouble. Now Kenny does some really fun stuff, like for example, he goes to a Blockbuster, which in the time existed. Nowadays, people I'm gonna be talking about Blockbuster, they're like, "What the fuck is Blockbuster, dude?" So that's kind of impressive. And again, it's a showcase on the channel Showcase. It's a showcase of a era, or a kind of like a documentary in itself, what I call Kenny vs. Spenny documentary. In some ways it is, because it's two people competing for glory, It would be like two athletes. It would be like Messi versus Ronaldo, which is kind of crazy, right? This episode is not super nice. So Kenny goes into a porn shop or a Blockbuster, and he orders the weirdest porn ever, which is funny. And then him and Spenny watch porn. So Kenny, what he does is kind of crazy. Kenny is kind of fucking crazy in this one. He spits in it, he jerks off, he asks the crew to jerk off in it, and he wants cum, a lot of cum. He takes some fucking condoms from the dumpster, and he takes condoms from the dumpster, and it is kind of crazy. And puts it in the bag. You see, one of the best part of Dr. Goldfield is here. He's like, so Kenny goes to see Goldfield, and they ask how you can increase your semen production. He's like, well, eat well and sleep well, but there's not really a way to increase it. There's a way to decrease it, for example, like staying close to computer radiation. Then Kenny goes to steal, which I don't think is true. I think this is bullshit. I think they rent it. I think what possibly happened was they went to the dentist's office and they said it was a show, it was for a joke, it was for a prank. Then they allowed it. And he's blasting the X-ray vision on Spenny's package, which is super fucking funny. Super fucking funny. And then he does a scene, which is one of the greatest scenes ever. And he's like, "Oh, give me a fucking," because people are gonna be complaining. And it's like, we haven't seen this since who's a better parent, and we haven't seen this since. So then he's like, "Okay, well, I know I blasted gamma rays upon Spenny's penis," and as a joke he says, "What I do is Spenny's penis is all my business. But then what he says is kind of true, right? You guys are complaining about how I treat him, but if he was in trouble, who would be there? You wouldn't be there. You wouldn't be there if he was sick. You wouldn't come and visit to the hospital. You wouldn't even write to him. I'll be there every single day taking care of my friend. So who are you to tell me, oh, you're bad, you're so bad? And you see, this mentality is kind of out there. It's kind of chaotic, but at the same time, you know, he's right. Now, Spenny, what happened is, oh, Kenny, there's a thing that Kenny, that he did that I didn't talk about. There's a very specific reason for that. So Spenny started the competition, right? And he's very nervous. And then the whole competition is room. It becomes extremely, extremely sick, right? Now, he is extremely sick, and the funniest thing is you don't know why. You don't know why. Until you see Kenny's doing the rays, the x-rays on his penis. Okay, maybe that's why, right? Now, it's kind of crazy because Spenny being very sick, and Kenny's like, oh, you're bluffing. There is no way that this is the truth. And so then what he does is he goes to see the doctor. The doctor says, I don't know what's wrong. He goes to Ronnie, which is Kenny's brother. He has a lump in his arm, and he takes out the lump. He's like, there's something wrong with you. And then that's the funniest thing. And then Kenny asks Spenny, like, oh, you look sick. You want something to eat? And he gives him beef jerky because it's full of protein. And Spenny's like, I'm sick. And he said, did you eat something? And Spenny said, I ate the beef. So then what happened is you see that Kenny took a knife, cut a hole in the mattress of Spenny, and put some meat and fucked the mattress. Yeah, fucked the mattress. So Spenny got sick because he ate Kenny's cum, which is possibly not true. I don't know if you eat cum if you get sick. I don't think so. Otherwise, I made a lot of people sick. Ew. So then they had a competition. Spenny had next to nothing. Spenny, for the first time in a while, cheats, and he puts shampoo, and he put it on the table, and he's like, oh my god, I cannot believe that you won. And Kenny believes it. He believes that he has this good heart. He's like, oh my god, no, I lost. And then Spenny says, Kenny, this is shampoo. He's like, and Kenny's like, you're fucking idiot, you shouldn't have told me, I would have believed you. Then the emulation for this one is, they take a shooter of Kenny's cum, and he has Spenny has to drink it. But then the problem is he puts in homeless people cum, and without saying that homeless people aren't necessarily dirty, parfait ça. They don't wear condoms, so you know, parfait ça. Okay, good. Because my father is texting me right now because I texted him, but I went to sleep, and now he wants an answer, you know? Okay, so next on the list we have, it's not like the best episode, but it's kind of crazy. We can produce more semen. It will never be done again, and it never has been done again. Does that make sense? No. It will never be done again. Nobody's going to do this competition again. We have, who can stay in a haunted house the longest? Oh, it feels amazing. Who can stay in a haunted house the longest? And this one is absolutely phenomenal of a competition. So what you have here is they have this haunted house, and it's so well made. First of all, they do a special effect. So they put in kind of a spooky vibe. They do negative. They go to stay in a haunted house. Again, it's the same thing. Kenny goes to see a mentalist, which is Mysterion, which is super cool. He's super cool, this guy. Because he's like Kenny. He's manipulative. He's kind of like an asshole, but a funny one. And then Spenny goes in to see Sage and another one, which are people that believe in paranormal. So Spenny goes in for defensive, and Kenny goes in for the offensive. And Miss Earn gives him advice, like for example, don't give him everything at once. Let him discover some stuff. Because Kenny is gonna pretend like the house is really haunted when it's not. So Miss Earn's like put in some some clues as to the house is being haunted, which is brilliant. So they go in the house. Kenny's trying to do a talisman, and it's funny because we see two shrinks, and like, you can kind of tell they're full of shit, right? And they're saying, "Oh, the house, there's bad energy there. You shouldn't sleep there. Please go away." And then you can kind of tell that, okay, well, these are paid actor to see that, okay, well, the house is haunted. Then they go in the house, and Kenny right away starts saying fuck you and fuck you and fuck you and fuck you. They make the ghost is mad, right? Now, I don't know if this was a plan from Historian or from Kenny, but then it makes the house mad, and then you hear the sound. And it's like, holy shit, what happened? So this is the first time we hear the sound. Do I believe in ghosts personally? No, I don't believe in ghosts. Okay, my thoughts on ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts at all. I believe in paranormal event. I don't believe in ghosts, but I believe that something out there could be influencing. So, for example, right? Talking about energy, we're talking about a spirit. I believe that some spirits have. Oh, again, dude. What is going on, Dad? Okay, good. I believe that some people have so much energy or so much, so much energy that they could have a representation. For example, right? This person had high energy, and his house feels a bit weird. Now, this is where it gets complex. I don't believe that it's a ghost. However, it's kind of funny. So, for example, my opinion with chakras would be I spent years in this place, years in the house. And because I had high energy, my energy is in the house. So when it would come, I'm going to charge the phone because it's very low. Well, it's not very low, but I don't want it to be too low. Because I've been living in the house for so long, my energy is in the walls. That's what I believe. Or per example, right? Well, long story short, I don't believe in ghosts. However, I believe in afterlife. I don't believe in ghosts. However, I believe into energy being left there. Right? And this is the craziest part. To me, energy being left there is the perfect way. For example, we're gonna see some strange event. So Hannah, right? One of my good friend, Hannah, Marie on TikTok. She believes that she's haunted. Now I tease her for that. I do tease her a lot. Do I believe that Hannah is haunted? I do. I actually do. I do. This is insane. This is not the subject of the kid versus Penny. This is kind of do I believe in ghosts? This is ghost. So Anna, this is all true. You can ask her, but this is all true. Anna believes that she's haunted. Now, what I believe, Anna is fucking nuts. I don't believe that she's haunted. However, I believe that Hannah perceives herself as being haunted, and because she perceives herself as being haunted, she's more sensitive. So there's no one event that. Okay, so it's really bad, but in a day-to-day life, and everyday life, and your surrounding, there's events, paranormal activity. They're everywhere. Right now, there's possibly one next to me. There's possibly one behind me. However, since I don't believe and I'm not sensitive to these energy or to these activity, if you will, then I don't believe they exist. Now, do I believe they exist? Possibly. Do I think it could be real? Yes. But with person like Anna, because she's so super sensitive to it, then when it happened, she perceives it. I don't perceive it. So this is what I believe by ghosts, right? So they go in and they're making jokes. So for example, Kenny goes way too far. Like for example, he's gonna put shoes of a little girl in the house because okay, so they tell you the story, and the story is a lot. So for example, it was a family, a father and a mother, and the mother couldn't have kids, and that made her. So they decided to adopt the girl, and because they felt shame to adopt a girl because they couldn't have, they locked her in the basement. And then what happened is the mom, she killed the daughter, then she killed herself, and then the guy killed himself. The Simmons. And it's a story that you can Google. I don't know if it's a true story. I don't know if it's a true story, but you can Google it. There's proof of it on the internet. So they They go in and like, okay, well, this is kind of nuts. And this is real. This is insane. I can't believe this is real. So then they put a little bicycle, and then you can actually see Kenny with the bicycle, and he's gonna pull on the line, on the fishing line, and because he's pulling on the fishing line, he's fuck. Because he's pulling on, see, because this here, I mean, problem, then I'm thinking about this here. I'm hyper focusing on this here, and that's why I'm going crazy. um so, oh, just like Miss Turner told him, and he's gonna do this, and he's gonna do some pranks. He's gonna dress up and period. So Miss Turner kind of tells that, okay, well, if there's ghosts, here's how to provoke them, or here's how to get to a reaction. So Mithran implies that ghosts are real, but that Kenny, if he can resist, they won't hurt you. They will not hurt you. The other people would say that yes, they will. Yes, they will, but I don't know. I never saw something like that. So Kenny goes and he's making jokes too. Like, for example, he pretends like the ghost raped him, and he says a funny joke, which is that he's gonna need an abortion. Then he does. Then Spenny, what he does, which is really smart, is he handcuff himself into the house. Now, was it smart to handcuff yourself? No. Was it smart because there's no way you can do it? There's always way to cut off a handcuff. So what you do is you cut off the chain, and then you cut off the links without hurting yourself. So there's always way to cut it, but he doesn't have the key. So he handcuff himself, and then Kenny goes in, and he's this is a bit of a weird thing. I would have not did it like that, but this is how they decided to do it. He's decided to summon the devil, so he puts on a circle. He does the ritual, which is all bullshit. It's not a true ritual, right? As Ariya come on, and then you can hear a noise, and then the whole crew, they run away. All of them, they run away. They leave Spenny behind because Spenny handcuffed himself, but they all run away. And then the next day, you realize that there was a construction nearby, and a beam fell. That was make the noise. I would have left that as if the sound, just to make people believe. So yeah, so Kenny lose because he left the house. Now, technically speaking, if Spenny wasn't handcuffed, he would have left the house, right? So they both would have lost. But we're not talking about technically. We're talking about reality. Season 3 episode, guys, we're doing good. Season 3 episode 10, one of my favorite. Oh my god, the couple and next one. Well, 10 11 are great. 12 is okay, 13 is okay, but 10 and 11 are great. Who can catch a bigger fish? Now, I live in Lachine, right? So right here you're seeing a church, you're seeing this. If you would go about 20 minutes here, you would see the ocean. Let's see. And a lot of people in my neighborhood are fishermen. They like to fish. They really like to fish. So, taking care of the 3 towers. Soon, what I'm going to be able to do, I'm going to be able to move the phone to a place where I can touch it without having to get up. This is gonna be better. So, who can have a bigger fish? I'm not interested in fishing. I'm not interested in fishing because everybody in my town fish. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'm not gonna fish. I'm not gonna, And dude, I'm such in a good mood. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna charge this phone because that's 42%. We'll do another 45 minutes. I was supposed to be doing to stop in 50 minutes. Fuck it. I'm gonna stop in 45. I love Kevin Spenny, so this is really fun for me. No, and yes, I've been filming since 6:30 also. And right now it's 9, so for sure. So I thought I was the opposite. We could catch a bigger fish, and I didn't believe in it. Now, ultimately speaking, this is old school. This is stereotype. Fishing is a dude activity. It's going out with the boys. It's like a hunting, right? So it's nuts. This episode is So fucking good. They go to fish, right? And it's simple fishing. Again, you got Spenny who goes in. Oh, the rules. This one I know the rules. I usually don't know the rules, but this one I do know the rules. Um, by the way, today we might watch Kenny versus Penny. I'm gonna be playing Elden Ring for 7 hours. Well, not 7 hours, but at the very least 5 hours for sure. Which is a lot, I know. Kenny goes in. Spinning goes in is like he has a specialist, and he's like, "Yo, please help me." The rules are simple. You must catch a live fish, and you have to send it back. You have to have the fish you caught on camera, and you have to. That's it. That's it. So Kenny's like, and Kenny really pushes it. I'm gonna tell you right away, because I think it's super funny. Usually I leave the. Oh, okay. It's complex. No, it's not about Penny. Penny just go to get trained to fish, and he meets this guy and catch a nice little catfish, and it's super fun. It's super fun because for Penny, see Penny. Penny is cute, not in the sense of not cute in the sense of he's beautiful, but cute in the sense of he lives such a sheltered life, which is his mom's fault. You can see Corinne, and you can tell that she cuddled up Penny like a motherfucker. Um, she's his mother, but she's also a motherfucker. Um, which is sad because this really hindered Spenny. Um, so when he catch a fish, he's like, "Oh my god, I catch a fish! I caught a fish! I caught a fish!" Kenny, however, is like, "I'm gonna use your rules to cheat." So right away, what he does is he cheats. He goes to the store and buy a live fish. It's not a live fish, but it's there's still the scale. There's still the whole fish. The only thing missing is possibly his intestine and is dead. Um, so then he talks to a guy, and he talks because he doesn't have a lot of a good mastery of French or English. Sorry, can he kind of make fun of him? And he's like, okay, so he goes to the boat. He meets the chef a little bit before to bribe him, to give him money and say, hey, we never met before. And he brings, and that is really smart. Kenny brings the fish on the boat the previous day, which is really smart. Then the next day we go to the boat, and Kenny's like, "Oh, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna cheat." Kenny is so fucking smart. He brings the second fish. So then Spenny's like, I'm gonna have to make sure that you don't bring anything." So then Kenny make it seem like he really got close to not getting caught, but he got caught. Then he had a fish, and then Spenny's like, "Holy shit! I caught you cheating. I can't believe. Actually, yes, I can believe it," which is really, really, really funny. And also, what is really cool is we're skipping a bunch of stuff, but this is one of the one I can do by heart, and I can actually master recapping. So he goes in, and they just chill. They just chill. They go to see the boat, and they're a bit nervous. The captain is not a good liar, so he's like, "Oh well." And Kenny has to pretend like, "Oh, this is a fucking cool boat," just to say change the subject. Then they go to fish. They have 7 hours to catch a fish. They go for 6 hours, 6 hours and a half, the 10 hours. And Spenny's like, "Yo, I don't catch a fish. There's nothing there." And Kenny's gonna joke with Spenny. This is one of the episodes where they have fun together. So, for example, Kenny's like, "Holy shit, I got a fish! I got a fish!" And what he does is he takes the fishing line and he pulls it, and it's really cool. Kenny tan like a dumbass. Spenny really tries, and he tells the captain, "Is this really a magic spot?" And then Kenny, what he does is he takes a flare gun, he pushes Penny out of the boat, and he has a flare gun, and he points at the captain. It's like, "Hey, move, otherwise I shoot you. Move, otherwise I shoot you." Which to me is freaking funny. Then we got to cheat it. How he cheated. So he went on the boat the day before wearing the same shirt. First of all, he was wearing the same shirt. He could hide the fish, like I said. So then on camera, he pretended like he catch the fish yesterday. What he did was he had a video. It was like, "Oh my god, I caught a huge fish! I caught a huge fish! I caught a huge fish!" And then he takes the fish and puts it back in the water, as the rule says. Um, it's there's also this is what is sweet because there's this really sweet moment between Kenny and Spenny, where Kenny plays a fishing game, and Spenny's like, "What are you doing?" "I'm playing a fishing game," and it's like, "Holy shit! There's no way that's a fishing game." He says, "Yeah," and then it's funny because he says you need to go outside, dude. If your line catches, if your line gets stuck, they won't teach you in video games. You have to learn it for yourself. So I thought it was cute. I thought it was cool because they're kind of brotherly towards each other, right? They always tease on each other. The funny thing is, it's hard to say. You really see Kenny with Miriam a lot, but you don't see Kenny and Ronnie a lot. So you don't know if the relationship is great or not. There's a possibility that Spenny and Kenny are close. Are they closer than Ronnie? I don't know. Um, so yeah, so he decides to cheat, and you're wearing the same shirt, and Spenny see the footage. It's like, holy shit, this is real. This really is a magic spot, which is super funny. And even better than that, he thanks Kenny for putting the fish back in the water, which is the episode. So super good episode because again, it's entertaining. Now season 3, episode 11 is insane. Who can imitate the other guy better? And dude, what an episode! Just gonna check my phone. Who can imitate the other guy better is Loki, Heike, Insanity. It's just nuts. So the goal is for Spenny to be Kenny and for Kenny to be Spenny. They exchange shirt. It is just who can become the other guy better. The rules, I don't remember them. It's so fucking funny because they start right away. And when it's the rules, Kenny hacked like Spenny. So for example, he's gonna freak out. Spenny takes a cup of coffee. This one is one of the crazier one. Spenny must wear some makeup. He wears a wig. Kenny wears a fake nose and wear a wig, which is really funny. It's just one of those episodes that is kind of. It shouldn't. Bro, it's messed up. What an episode. For example, right? Spending gonna take. This is something that I haven't watched in a year, and it's still very fresh. He takes a cup of coffee and he throws it on the board because that's something Kenny would do, and Kenny pretend like he's freaking out. Kenny always make it seem like he's gay for Spenny. So, for example, he goes to see Spenny, which is Kenny. He said, "Where's my black dildo? Where's my dildo?" I don't know if he said black dildo, or he goes in front of Kenny and he goes on his knees, like if he was gonna suck it, which is really funny. Oh fuck! I forgot the humiliation for who can make a better porno, which is this season. Humiliation for who can make a bigger porno is Spenny pretend to be fucked by a blow up doll, a male blow up doll, and he says, "Oh yes, grandpapa," which is really funny. So Spenny pretend like Kenny, which is Spenny, pretend like he's gay. Kenny. Spenny does a really good job. Spenny drinks coffee that he doesn't like. He eats stuff that he doesn't like. He plays video game that he doesn't like. He makes Mama's joke about his own mom, pretending to be Kenny, which is amazing. This is dedication. He's really trying. He's really trying. And yeah, he's just being Kenny. He's dancing like Kenny does, but he gets caught. He cleans the apartment, which he's not supposed to do, because Kenny would do that, and it's tough. For example, he has this talk where it's like, just being Kenny for a couple of days hurt my soul. I don't feel good about myself. I feel dirty. I feel disgusting, right? Which is a bit of loathing, but hey, Spenny does a really good Kenny. See, Spenny, in my opinion, does a perfect Kenny. Kenny goes way too far, which is funny, but at the same time, it goes too far. So, for example, he'll make a song about how his grandpapa fucked him in the ass. He'll pretend like he's eating shit, and in the scene, it's so fucking funny. He puts some gay. He goes in the bed of Spenny, and he puts some gay porno. He puts a dildo. A dildo. He puts a gay porno. He puts Kleenex everywhere. He pees the bed. Yeah, but that's not the funniest thing he does. Is he makes brownie mix and he makes chocolate, and he pretend like it's poop. Caca was in French, and he's sitting next to the toilet and he's pretending like he's eating the shit, and everybody's laughing. But the craziest thing he does is he's in the water and he takes it's so fucking funny. He's in the bath, right? And he has a razor blade, right, to shave yourself, and he puts fake blood on his wrist, Like he pretend like to kill himself, and then Spenny doesn't do that. Spenny's an upstanding citizen. It's really super funny. And then the crew judge. Now the crew does like Kenny more, as it was revealed later on. But what they said was really good. What they said was like, you both besmirched the other characters. You both had exaggeration, and although Spenny, you were closer to okay. So he said, although Spenny, you were closer to Kenny than Kenny was to Spenny. You broke character more than he did. He didn't break character. You did. So then Spenny loses, and it's just because Brandon, really sweet guy, but then say, I saw you Thursday. I saw you when you came in. I was like spot on, but then you let us down, man. You let us down, which I fucking love. I really enjoy that. And that is season 3 episode 11, season 3 episode 12, arm wrestling competition. Not my favorite. So right away you got Spenny who thinks that Kenny's gonna fuck with him, so he runs away and he leaves a recording. He's like, "Yo, you're not gonna find me. I'll see you during the competition." It's really what I mean. See, I used to hate Spenny because I was like, this is versus Kenny. I prefer Kenny 100%. But now, as I'm older, I'm kind of seeing that. Do I like Spenny? No. But do I think that Spenny put in somewhat of an effort? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's worth something. How he acted during the competition, not cool. However, he put in the effort, and because he put in the effort, I gotta give some points. I gotta give some points to that. So Spenny, he does a recording, and he's like, Kenny, I know that's gonna fuck with me. I know that's gonna start to try to fuck with me. It's a competition I can't win. I'm not gonna allow you to fuck with me. So he hides, and he says, "Okay, I'll meet you there that day." So he hides. Now you got two way. So Kenny goes to Saint Sainte Marie, which is where Spencer was born, and he goes to fight Spencer. And then the funniest thing is, there's a kid there who is called Spencer. A bit of wine, strawberry lemon wine, which is really good. Not too much of it. Not too much. This is gonna be the day. For the day. So he goes in, and there's this kid. His name is Spenny, and he wants to fight Spenny. It's not an interesting competition, but it's kind of cool. So the kid is super cool. Kenny acts like a bigger brother. It goes to Sault Ste. Marie, and he acts like an asshole. People boo him, but it's good because he gives a show. Like, he gives a show. He's an entertainer, so entertain the city, which is really cool for Sault Ste. Marie. And then the funniest thing is, he goes against Kenny goes against the young Spenny, and he struggles, but he beats him, right? Which is funny. And the coolest thing is, his mom is there, and she's like, "Who are you?" And she doesn't say this is weird, but she's like, she's unsure about Kenny because Kenny's an old dude looking for her son, And then Spenny goes in, he trains, he really trains. He has a body double, so he dresses Donnie as himself, but Donnie has about 40 pounds on Spenny, so it doesn't really work. And he hides himself. He trains. He has bodyguard. He's like, can I trust my crew? Long story short, Kenny wins because he beat a Spencer Nolan Rice. And in the rule, he says, you, Kenny, Joel Oz will fight me, Spencer Nolan Rice, at said location, at said time. So he does fight. And the funny thing is, Kenny cheated. So Spenny actually does something that's crazy cool. He goes in, and it's like, you will not have beaten me. Then Kenny gets mad. Well, not get mad, but he gets hurt, I guess. His feelings are hurt, right? And he goes in, and he's like, yo, let's do it. And then Kenny fucking wins versus Spenny. There's another word for that. Susceptible? I don't know. Chocolate. And this is it. This is season 3. Am I fighting with something? I'm for sure forgetting something. And season 2, Oh, I forgot. We could say Almost the Longest. We could say Almost the Longest, which is season 3, episode 12. I think great, but it's not bad. So basically, the rules are simple. They decide to be homeless. They have no money. They have no help from the crew. Right? The rules are super simple. You must sleep outdoors. New homeless. Kenny doesn't make an effort. And I fuck the rules. But Kenny cheats a lot. So, one of the two that he has is go to Starbucks. And like, hey, my kid spilled the coffee. And he was like, okay, we'll give you another one, no problem. Which is super funny. Next time that he cheat, goes to the bank. Goes to the bank and he takes out money. And it's kind of funny because he goes to a luxurious restaurant. And he's like, I'm gonna order the most expensive food for this. So he is still homeless, but he eats like a king. Oh, it's a bit boring, but hey, and he's homeless. And there's a kid ask him, "You want to buy chocolate for a project?" And Kenny tells him, "Get a job," because he's homeless, which is comedy genius. I'm telling you something. What am I forgetting? Honestly, there's not a lot. There's not a lot. Yeah, there's not a lot. Well, I could tell you this. There's just episodes that are less. Getting spenny, I don't think there's episodes that are okay. So it's great or it's not good. One, not great. Oh, the right humiliation here. The right humiliation. That could be cool. One thing what I do, I'll finish it for season 6, and then I'll do special humiliation. So all of the humiliation of all the show. So when he goes in and he's really trying. He steals a cart and he gets some can. He panhandle. He steals some ketchup package, which he eats. He makes money and he buys sunscreen, which is kind of dumb. So they go under a bridge to sleep. And it's weird because they sleep together, not like close together, but kind of close together, right? That's really nice. Spenny. Didn't even fuck with Spenny. Then they come in the park. It's like, this competition sucks. What do we do? What are we supposed to do? And then Kenny antagonizes Penny. And then they film in the park. The police come. And the police are like, hey, you cannot film here. And then Kenny Penny goes in. He pranks Penny. Penny punch him. The police arrest Penny. And then Kenny says, I want to press charges. So they bring Penny downtown. He's in a jail cell. And then Kenny tells him that you slept under a roof. And I said you were in jail, but you weren't homeless. So Kenny and this one wins. Another best episode. It's kind of funny though. So what happened is, the humiliation is Kenny get to knee Penny in the penis. Not the greatest humiliation, but hey, what are we gonna do? Now, this is for season 4. Season 3. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little break. And then we'll go for season 4. So, love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.